Hello guys, welcome. And today we are on a very interesting topic. I am going to show you how I made over $14,000 selling options in just 5 months in 2020 this year, right? So, are you ready to look into my account and see how I did it? Welcome in. Let's check it out. Okay, so I'm going to show you my account so you see my results, and I'm going to also share with you how I got the results. Hey, seeing is believing, right? Let me show you quick. There you see my account. So that's my name, Kamlesh, and that's the account. I have taken it from 1st of January. Look, 1st of January 2020 to 30th September 2020, right? So that's the period that I have taken here. And look what happened in this period. Just take a look. That's $17,400. $17,400 in 5 months. Okay, on one company, Netflix. Okay, so here is the company, Netflix, right? So on one company, Netflix, you can see that I netted that kind of return. Okay, and you can too. You can too. So that's proof. Let's go back. Okay, and then this is very exciting. The second thing I'm going to share with you is my millionaire roadmap that I have created for myself of how anybody can achieve $1 million in 10 years, and you can copy this roadmap. So these are the two things you're going to look at today. So I'll show you how to sell options every week to generate weekly income, because this is what I am doing right now, and this generates weekly income every week. Now, the fantastic thing here is this: 2020 has been a year of recession. 2020 has been a year where people lost jobs and there's a lot of uncertainty. And in this year, we are able to create this kind of income from the stock market. Even though you all know that the stock market rallied a lot, but my method was not using that rally, it was selling options. All right, so I'm loving this, and you will also love it once you see how you can be part of this and you can do it for yourself. All right, so how good can this be? Yeah, this can be this good. Yeah, I earned $14,000 in 5 months. I did most of my trades only on two companies, so I did not have to do a hell lot of research, analysis, and whatnot for using this method. Although I did do a ton of research this year, I did many other trades, and all of that is different strategies. But for this strategy to sell options, the one I'm going to share with you, I just did on two companies. I just did these trades on Thursday and Friday. That means that what I'm telling you is you can actually do one trade a week every Friday and you are done. Okay, so if you're a busy professional, if you're working on your job, if you do not have time, if you do not have the expertise to scan the markets to do the analysis, then this one technique is all you do with one trade a week, two trades a week, and this gives you decent income between $500 to $1,500 per week. Okay, depending on how much capital you put to work, and that's the power of this. Now, it took me less than 45 minutes each day. Once you knew what to do, it doesn't take 45 minutes also, but in the beginning it will take about an hour, and you will definitely be on the laptop for about 1.5 hours, because once you put a position you will want to look at it and stuff like this. Okay, I made decent income during the worst catastrophe faced by mankind, and that is why this looks very promising, and that is why I'm very excited to share this with as many people as I can. Now, it's supplemented as a great second income, while my primary income I practically lost it because I was locked down for 5 months, a good 5 months, and I couldn't work, and it was quite a mess. Thank God I had this second income to survive on. I can now continue repeating this for me for life. Okay, so that's the power of it. With the same knowledge, without learning anything new, without becoming a champion in stock markets, I can still generate decent income every week for the rest of my life. And that is the best part. Okay, so let me first explain what are options, because I assume that some of you may not even know what are options. All right. Now, they are awesome financial tools created for most people to lose money. Okay, and very few people to pocket all that lost money. Okay, so usually when we are buying options, when people are doing options trading, they are on the other side where they are losing the money, and then some people on the other side are collecting all that money. So we want to cross over and go to the other side, right? If you have ever traded options, you will know how much money you can lose in options and how you feel they are so risky, right? So at the end of this presentation, I believe that you will that experience that you have had, the hard experience, it will change. Now, they are a contract. Options is just a contract between a buyer and a seller on whether a stock will go up or down, right? So it's just like any other contract. When you buy property, you enter a contract between a buyer and a seller. So option is also a contract. It's a bet that two people make to say, in the next 2 days, in the next 1 week, in the next 1 month, will the stock go up or down? Okay, so it has a time limit. You can choose the time limit to whatever you are comfortable with. You can choose your option to have a time limit of 6 months. You can also choose it to have a time limit of 1 day. Okay, now they have an expiry date like all contracts have, and they have market madness priced in. So for example, you have already seen madness in prices in many other commodities. For example, houses. If there is a boom, a $200,000 house becomes $350,000 house. It even becomes a $500,000 house. And then people buy it at 500,000, and then when the market drops, it is back to 300,000, and people are locked in, right? They have to pay high EMIs, even though the current value is not such. So I call this, the word I use to show this in the market is madness. Okay. In the options world, we use the word implied volatility, which is a technical term, which means the same thing, madness. Okay. So when there are 20,000 people willing to buy a pen, then the price of the pen is $200. If next day, there are only two people left to buy this pen. Then the price of the pen is $1. All right. So that is what I call madness. Now you can bet on a stock going up. So that's called a call option. Or you can bet on a stock going down. That's called a put option. So if you feel that this stock is going to go down today and tomorrow, you buy a put option. If you feel it's going to go up, you buy a call option. Okay. So that in simple words is what options are, right? Simple contracts, betting on the direction of where the stock will go, and then you can choose your duration, right? And generally people buy options. However, very few knowledgeable people sell options. So what I'm going to share with you is selling options, okay? Because buying, as you will see, I'll share with you, buying is not what we want to do every week. Now, what's the difference between buying stocks, as in shares of a company, and options, right? So once you buy shares of a stock, you can keep it forever, literally, right? That means you can keep it for 20, 30, 40 years. You can even pass the shares to your children, who can then in future use these, right? So as long as the company is performing well, you don't need to even sell them. Okay, so they don't have a time limit practically. So stocks are suited for long-term investors who have a good starting capital. So, if a stock is $300 and you want to buy 100 shares, you need $30,000. So it needs a lot of capital to buy shares. Okay, so it is easy to know, right, what stocks will perform good in the long run, right? Today, all of us know that if I'm going to buy Microsoft and Amazon and Google and Apple and Facebook, these will make money, or Spotify and stuff, right? In the long run. However, some may not be good to buy right now. For example, Spotify, because it has already overshot a lot in price. But in general, it's easy to, find out which stock will make money. But you need to have a lot of capital, like I said. And this is the problem. Most people do not have a lot of capital to start with. And this is why options were introduced, and options are very cheap. They need very little capital. So one option controls 100 shares of a company, right? So if you just buy one option contract, then you only need $500 to control the 100 shares, versus in the example I shared with you just now, you would otherwise need $30,000 to control 100 shares. All right. So let's take this instance, this example to understand. If the stock goes up by $5 and you purchase 100 shares, you will actually make $500 by buying shares. All right. So your investment is 30,000, and then your profit is 500. So which is very, very little, right? Percentage profit. But however, if you buy an option instead, one contract, it will go up by $3 when the stock price goes up by $5. Because to keep things simple, in general, the option price moves 50-60% of the stock price. All right. So when the option goes up by $3, that means you bought the option for, let's say, $5. So now it will be $8, right? So you made a profit of 300, because $3 multiplied by 100 shares, because one option contract controls 100 shares. So you made a profit of 300. But remember, for options, your investment was only 500. So that gives you a very strong return on equity, or ROI, way higher, right, than what you got with shares. So now you understood the two major differences between buying shares and buying options. One, you need huge capital if you want to buy stock. And secondly, even if it moves $5, $10, how much profit potential you have is not great ROI. Okay, so in short, if you look at the last sentence, you need less capital and have a higher return when working with options. And this is why people trade options, right? So I hope this clarifies to you why everybody wants to buy options, because it needs lesser money, right? So why are stocks good then? Well, stocks are a good instrument for investment for long term, and options are more good of an instrument for short term trading, right? So people want to trade short term with little capital, and they want to build capital, right? So that's the whole point of buying options. So now comes the interesting question that I have been talking about selling options, right? So what is the difference between a buyer and a seller? Let's explore. Now, selling needs special understanding of option pricing. So once you understand this, then it's very simple, like many other things. But in the beginning, to understand this once, it gets a bit tricky, right? Now, selling needs you to know how to put odds in your favor before you take the trade. Okay. And you need to know some sort of secrets, right, to make you a consistent winner in selling. And this is not true for selling options, it's true for everything. Even you run a business, right, you will notice that you have two restaurants side by side on the same road offering similar kind of menu, and one has people queuing up and the other one there nobody wants to go, right? So any business, we need to know the secret sauce, and then that is how we get solid success. Okay, so it's the same with trading. There are secrets to every technique or every strategy, and once you know those, then your income becomes consistent. All right. So if you look at I put up a little table to explain. There are three basic things that I told you decide the price of an option. And now we look at, buying versus selling. So stock price movement must be in your favor. So this is true whether you're buying an option or whether you're selling an option. The stock should move in the direction that you put the bet on, to say that If you bought a call and you said it'll go up, then it should go up. If you bought a put, then it should go down, right? If the stock goes in the opposite direction, definitely you lose money. The second parameter that is true for options is time. And when you are buying an option, and let's say you bought an option which the contract expires in 2 weeks, and I sold that to you, okay? So as a seller, you paid me certain amount of premium, some money in consideration to, as part of that contract, to hold the position for 2 weeks. And within this 2 weeks, you should be right on the bet as a buyer. If you are right on the bet as a buyer, you make money. If you are not right on the bet, then after 2 weeks, if the stock doesn't move at all in these 2 weeks, then I keep the premium that you paid me, the money you paid me as part of contract, and the contract expires. All right. So time is always against you when you are buying options, because every day passes, your option is going to near expiry. I'll explain this in a little more detail a bit later. As a seller, time is always in your favor. Okay. Similarly, madness, that means the market madness behind a given stock, that is also against the buyer of options, and it is in favor of the seller. So when we sell options, out of three factors, two are already in our favor, right? You just need price to be little bit in your favor. And the beautiful thing about selling is, even if the price goes in the opposite direction little bit than what you expected it to, you still turn a profit as a seller, right? So now you see that why selling makes a lot of sense compared to buying. Then why is it that most people don't sell? Like I explained, one, they do not even know. I also did not know this for many, many years. And two, they basically do not understand options in entirety, to understand how the pricing of option works, what is the impact of implied volatility, how to check, how to take advantage of it, or how to keep yourself safe from it. Right? So people end up buying the wrong options, is all that I'm saying. And when they buy wrong options, if you are the seller who's selling to them, of course you end up winning the bet, right? And then that is how you make money and they lose the money. So what are the secrets, right? I just told you you need to know some secrets. So I'll share with you what are the secrets that we need to know as a seller, and then that will make us a consistent winner. So there are secrets that we must learn, and one of them is you need to know how to kill your opponent with one move instantly for sure, right? That means the moment you take the trade, you already know that the buyer is confirmed going to lose. How to find this kind of trade? Okay. And remember, every week we do not want to go and hunt for this kind of trade. Every week we do not want to go and hunt for this kind of company. So that is where I created a little strategy for myself to say that I do not need to every week hunt for these parameters, right? I shortlisted a list of stocks that meet these parameters week after week, and then they give me my earnings week after week. You can win in selling if the stock goes against you. Now, this is awesome, right? This can never, ever happen as a buyer. So these are the secrets. You need to know how to find a buyer who doesn't understand a good product from a bad product. Okay. And then we sell him the wrong product. That means you sell him the wrong option, the one that nobody should ever buy. But because he doesn't understand, he buys, right? It's like selling the wrong house at the wrong price. There's no way the buyer is going to make money. Okay. Secret number two is you need to know how to sell to a buyer who doesn't understand what is good price to buy. Okay, so he buys at the wrong price. So basically, you sold him a wrong product at a wrong price, a higher price than what he should be actually paying. So this is how we make sure and we ensure that he loses right at the start. Secret three is that you sell to him at the wrong timing. Okay, so you basically put all the odds in your favor and you win the bet straight away, right? And like when you talk about options, as a buyer, timing is against you. And then if I, as a seller, know how to check what is the wrong timing and sell to you at the wrong timing, you are practically finished. And that explains to you why 95% of option buyers lose money. Okay, only 5% of them make money. So this is these are the three reasons, right? Sellers of options are knowledgeable people who know these three factors, and they make sure that the buyer is wrong. Okay, now let me show you how I did it so that you can copy the same method. Okay, so first let's understand what did I do in the first place. Okay, so I will show you my actual account, and then you will see the results I generated, and then you will have a brief understanding. Okay, folks, we are here in my account again, and let me show you what I do basically. So, these are options. If you are new to options, then you may not even understand. But never mind, just let's go through and see what you can pick up. Now, these are options on Netflix. So, Netflix stock, these are calls here, and these are puts here. All right. So, like I explained earlier, so I'm going to zoom this a bit. So you can see these are calls. Calls means when you're bullish, you buy a call, and then these are puts. Okay, so when you feel that the stock is going to go down, you buy a put. Okay, now for us, the game is selling, right? It's not buying. So let's take a closer look at the puts section here. And inputs, let me take a look at this 465 put. Okay, so right now the price of Netflix is about 470. Okay, and this option will expire in 3 days. The validity is 3 days. 13th November will expire. So that means that my bet is that Netflix will not go down to 465. Okay, in 3 days. Okay, it'll go up. That's my bet, for example. So what I'll do is I am going to then right click here, sell this option. I want to sell it. Sell this option, and choose to sell just one contract of it, just to show you. And you see that when I sell this one contract, I will receive $645, and the capital I need is 8,500, which is huge, right? So in this sense, in this case, the reward to return ratio is not good, right? I'm not liking it. Okay, so let's take a look at another method to do the same thing. So this 645 is the price of the option. All right. And like I explained to you, you multiply this by 100. So $6.45 multiplied by 100 is $645 is what you receive when you sell this put option one contract. Okay. So in this case, I am actually going to now sell it in another method which we call as vertical spreads. And you will see what happens in a vertical is that the capital requirement goes down. Okay, I don't need so much of capital, so I'll receive 97 cents multiplied by 100, $97. So what I'll receive is $97. However, the total amount of money I will need is only 154. Okay, so let me widen the profit slightly. I will choose 460 instead. So I'm choosing a $5 difference in the strike prices. So I receive $165 for investment of 336. All right. So this is like 50% return. Okay. And in 3 days, the only thing for me to receive this 165 in my account is that Netflix should stay above $465, which was my strike price. Okay, that's the only thing that should happen. I'll zoom this a bit. So $165 is what we receive. 336 is the capital that we need. So that means even if you have $500, right, you can take this trade. Okay, and then you wait for 3 days and you receive this 165 in your account. okay, as long as Netflix stays above 465. So this is the entire game plan. Okay, this is what I am doing, and this is how we basically sell options to buyers who want to buy it. Okay, if you are bearish, that means you feel that Netflix is going to go down, then we go and sell calls instead. So let me, for example, just show you that I will take a 580 call for Netflix and look at one contract, and this is what you see. All right, so you receive $80 for an investment of $170, okay, which is again about 50%, right? All you need for you to receive this $80 in 3 days is Netflix should stay below 480. Okay, so like I explained to you earlier, it's a directional bet. That means you need to be right on the bet. Okay, and then there are other factors at play which also help you because you are a seller. So I sold a call to a person who feels that Netflix will go up. I feel it will go down. So I sold a call to him, and you can also do selling a put, which is here, is what we did, to a person who feels that Netflix will go down, and if you feel it will go up. All right. So this is what we do. Now, of course, for us to know the direction precisely, because otherwise you lose the game, right? Is what we learn in the course, how to see charts, how to know the direction, what indicators to use, and stuff like this, right? There is a lot of stuff that people have put into place to give us a lot of guidance, right? Now, there is no sure shot thing, okay, because the market can do irrationally whatever it wants. If the president puts up a tweet, the entire market can reverse. Okay, so it has happened multiple times during Mr. Donald Trump's presidency. So it's completely irrational. But however, when we make these bets, like I shared with you, there are certain secrets using which, even if it goes against us slightly, we will still make profit. And then in times where the entire market really turns against us, we just have to close our trade, sometimes even at a small loss. All right. So that is how we play this. But understand this before the fear and the chills go through your spine, right? Understand this very clearly. Your and my money that we are putting onto these markets is a very small amount. There are banks and hedge fund managers and big guys who are, and even governments who are actually playing these markets, and they have millions of dollars on the line. They are buying or they are selling or buying Netflix worth 10 million, 20 million, 50 million. So they really cannot go wrong. And it is for them that they have created specialized indicators, reading which they get to quite a point of certainty that they are correct in their directional trade. Okay, and those are the same indicators that we will be using. However, when you take an indicator as a default, then it does not give you the best signals. So you need to know how to tweak the indicator, modify it, and how to read it properly, and use all of these charts and patterns to actually give you the correct direction. But however, I don't like to make things very complicated because I like to keep it very, very simple for myself. Hence, I will share with you simplified methods of quickly reading the price. Okay, so let's go back and see the next part. So this is where you understood what I am doing on a daily basis. Okay, let's proceed from here. So I'm basically selling options day in day out. Okay, most of the times I'm just selling options. All right. And then here is what is very interesting. So this is the graph on which we make money all day. Now, like you understand, option is a product which has a time limit set to it. So let's say we buy a 90 days option that's expiring in 90 days. Just now I showed you option that's expiring in 3 days. Yeah. So I usually play those, right, that have just a couple of days left. So basically, over the 90 days, let's say the buyer paid $5 to buy this option, the seller received the $5, right? $5 into 100 shares will be $500 he received. Now that $5 value, the $500 becomes zero. At this point, when the option is expiring, it becomes zero. It's really worth nothing. The seller keeps the entire 500, the buyer loses the entire 500 if the buyer was wrong in his guesswork of the direction. Okay. Now what we do is something very smart. You see here, the curve is very flat and here it's falling fast. But we sell here just when 1-2 days are left. Okay, 3 days are left. So it goes to zero very quickly. So instead of getting $5, we just get 90 cents, like you saw just now, 80 cents. But then this 80 cents goes to zero very fast within the next 2 days, and we pocket value from this fast time decay. That's our game plan. That's what we are doing. That's what I teach people how to do. And that's what I do when I sell options day in, day out. So I sold options to greedy buyers who did not have a clear understanding of what they are buying. So wrong product and at a wrong price and on the wrong timing, because there's just 1 or 2 days left to expiry. So they have very little time for them to be correct, right? And if they are not, they really burn their money. Now, of course, they lost and I won 90% of time, actually 95% of time. You know, I repeated the process every week to generate cool income. And here's the best part for me. I had very little risk. The buyer took most of the risk, right? Time was against him, price was against him, and even the option that I sold him, right, is something that he shouldn't even buy, because you see that there are so many options to choose from, and there's a reason why we choose a particular one to sell. So these are the very secrets that I was talking about, right? Which you watch YouTube videos and stuff, you can't get this stuff, okay? Because people really wouldn't share how they make a lot of money unless they are paid. Now I was quite sure of my income each week. I can continue doing this for many years to come, and there are thousands of buyers available every week for me to sell to them, right? So the process is very repeatable. That's the best part. Because see, if we don't have enough buyers, right, then it's a problem, okay? But there are just too many buyers, okay? Let me just see if I can quickly show you here. There are just too many buyers, and every week these buyers are there in the market. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was just trying to switch. Okay, there you go. So you see, this is the number of people, 1,000 people. Okay, 1,000 people are willing to buy this from me. 1,000 people. Do you see that? This is the number of buyers. Okay, that's open interest. That means how many people are interested to buy. Okay, when the markets open, you can actually see the volume of how many people are trading this at this particular strike price. All right, so this is 1,000 people, this is 2,000 people. There are just too many buyers, right? And in both directions. So it doesn't matter which direction we are. In both directions, you will have a lot of buyers. Look, 900 people here, 500 people here, 500 people here, 800 people here, right? So you have just that you need to know how to pick what is the best strike price here for you to sell, and then that stock should not reach, and then you're done. All right, so let's go back to our presentation then. Okay, sorry, here it is, right? So I simplified the process so I don't need to research for a new company every week, okay? Because that was very important for me. I couldn't be sitting down. Now I'm super interested in trading, and I employ many other strategies also. So I am in the market for 2 hours every day, and even 3 hours sometimes, right? But that's different. For this particular technique, right, you can actually just take a couple of companies, 3 or 4, which I'll share with you in the course, and that's not a secret, right? One of them is Netflix. I showed you. So that's not a secret, but I will explain to you in the course why these companies, what is it that we see in them that tells us that they are here to stay and give us this opportunity. So I limited myself to trading 2 days a week, sometimes 3 days, sometimes only 1 day a week. And I'm talking strictly about selling options, right? This method that I'm sharing with you. The other strategies that they did is not what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can copy and repeat this method, and learning from me is definitely easy and affordable. And basically, you can just start learning with me for free, and I'll share with you how in just a moment, right? Now, what do you need to do this? Okay, you need a good understanding of how to trade options, both buying and selling. You need to learn how to find which stock to sell options on, because what if in future after 2 years Netflix is not the best stock to give you the most amount of money, right? Then we should switch, we should go to another one. So that's why you need to learn this part. You need to be sure on the direction of the stock for the next 2 or 3 days, right? Because you're selling 2 or 3 days to expiry. So you need to be very, very, very sure. And I'll share with you how we exactly do that. We basically use the same indicators that the hedge fund managers, the banks, the big guys are using, right? So they also are not magicians. They also decide based on graphs, charts, indicators. Okay, so we do the same. How to check if the option you are selling is wrong for the buyer? That means we need to sell him a wrong product so that we straight away win, right? So how do we check that all those three parameters are met? What to do if market turns against you? Then you need to have a exit strategy in place. So this is one thing that need to be learned. And then you need to learn how to see the charts and indicators like I'm talking, right? So that's a must have. Now it may sound like too much, right? It may sound like, oh my God, I have to learn too many things. Let me share with you that whatever profession you are, whether you're in IT or you are an accountant or whatever profession you are, we didn't know the skill. When we are 10 years old, we didn't know shit. Okay, we didn't know anything. Whatever it is, we picked up in this world as we grew up, and then we learned. Okay, and once we learned that skill, like driving a car, right? And then once you drive 1,000 miles, then you can go from your office to your home with half your brain working, and you looking off the road 20% of the time, right? You basically know how to drive back home. So it becomes second nature. So trading is same. It's a skill. We pick it up. We run. The problem here is this. When you usually learn trading from YouTube, from somebody's course, from anywhere, right? You basically are taught too many things. Even I did this mistake in my initial days when I started teaching people, right? I used to share a lot. I want the guy to get as much information out of me as much possible. I feel like, okay, they have paid me, so I need to do a good job, and then I'll just dump all the information on the person, and the poor thing will be clueless, right? And it's very thankful to God that I very quickly realized this mistake. And then I told myself that no, for a beginner, for somebody who comes in new in this, he should just focus on one technique. And when I analyzed myself and saw why was I losing sometimes, making money sometimes, I found that I'm focusing on too many things, and that's the problem. So I'm defocusing actually. So I just took one strategy and sat with that one strategy, and for 2 months I did not do any other trade, just that one strategy, right? And then I saw that my profits went through roof. They were amazing, right? So that's the power of focusing on one technique. So this is exactly what I want to work with you and deal to you is one strategy, one type of trade, do it once or twice a week, you're done, end of story. Once you master this in 3 4 months, we come back and look at something else, right? So this is the way to go. So this is the whole crux is that I have simplified this into a step-by-step process where you just learn one thing, you do that one thing, you earn a weekly income, you earn a monthly income until that is second nature, and then you learn the second technique, second strategy to deploy the additional cash you have in the account for making another piece of money, right? You need to then also learn trading platform Thinkorswim that we use in the course that I have been showing you all along. This platform is from the company TD Ameritrade. You need a trading account, so you can open one if you don't have one already. Whether you open with TD Ameritrade, you open with Robinhood, it's up to you, right? Whatever you're comfortable with. I like TD Ameritrade, and you should definitely open an account with Thinkorswim because this platform is great. It shows us stuff that is harder to see on other platforms, right? It's easier to see here. Although when you start up first, it looks like this is a pro's desk, right? What am I doing here? It really feels like that. But after a while, you get used to it and it's easy. So, like I said, I've simplified all of the above for you. And now I'm going to answer some common questions that people usually ask, okay? Okay, what are the returns it generates? Now, this is a tricky one. Okay, why? Because I will tell you how much returns it generates, and you're not going to believe it. It's so damn hard to believe when somebody tells you the first time until you have really seen it, right? Now, average returns is 10% per trade, and you will see why we need 10% per trade in the Millionaire Roadmap. I'll share with you very shortly, but. Average, okay, and then that's like, wow, what are you talking, man? How can you get 10% in a trade? It's very, very common, very, very average. And now I'll show you how we get 10%, okay, in a minute. After I answer these questions, I will show you in the account how we get 10%, exactly how we get it, right? And it's so simple that you, without learning, also can look at this video now and understand already, right? Now, if the trade is good, if the setup is good, we get 20%. If this is bad, we get 5%, okay, per trade. But if it's 5%, I don't take the trade. To be honest, I don't even take it, right? I don't take any trade that gives me below 10%. And you will understand why when you see the walkthrough with me in the account. So that's the returns, right? Average 10%, good 15%. Uh, Sometimes the trade goes against us. We even close it at 2%. We even close it at minus 5%. Okay. So 10 on 10 trades, you will win money. This doesn't happen. Why it doesn't happen? Because somebody will tweet, some news will come out, some coronavirus will come out, something will happen, right? North Korea will send missiles over Japan. Some rubbish in the world will happen that will get the markets to go goddamn against you. Okay, so no matter how good you know how to see charts or whatever, so we live with it. It's all right. We live with it. You drive a car, it breaks down sometimes. You fix it, you drive it back, and then it does the job. Okay, so this is exactly how we need to look at it. Look at your trading as your business. In a business, you have ups and downs. However, the net return a business gives you is why you take all the headache, and it gives you the freedom, it gives you the money, and that's why you take all the headache and you run the business. All right. So no need to fret that. Okay, interesting one. What's the minimum investment needed? Minimum is 500 US dollars. At 500 US dollars, you will earn $50 in one trade. Okay, you will earn $50 in one trade after commissions. So net. Are you happy with that? 500, 10% is $50, guys. So, like I said, uh, $2,000, $3,000 will be a good start, I would say. If you can put up to 5,000 in your account, that's great. If you have 10,000, brilliant. Okay, you can do multiple trades and life is much easier. All right. How long do you need to trade each day? Once you understand the strategy, it takes about 15-20 minutes. Okay, but you should not sit for 15-20 minutes. You should at least sit for a little longer time. Why? Because then you are able to, now if you're working and then you say, I can't sit in markets, never mind, you sit 1 hour outside market timings after it has closed, after you come back home, because you need to keep looking at the charts, right? The charts do tell a story about how human psychology is moving the markets, And once you learn how to read this story, you start making money. And when you get good at it, the amount of money you make is colossal. It's huge, guys. This is the highest paid per hour job in the world. That's how I think about it, because it is. You will see my entire account now. I'm going to show you in the walkthrough, and you will see. You'll agree with me. There's a highest paid job. What if you lose money? I already answered this. Okay. What if this method does not work? You see, this method works now, including Warren Buffett sells puts. Uh, just Google for this. Look at YouTube. The whole world is doing this, right? But then those people in the whole world, the big guys, they did not teach the small guys like us. Okay. And then there were people who were hedge fund managers last time, who were working in wealth management last time. They quit their jobs, and then they started services, they started their own funds, they started teaching services, and this is how all of this knowledge came out. Okay. So till date, I haven't found a book where you can actually just straightforward read and learn and understand, right? uh, the rich want to hide this from the poor, is how I get it. Okay. So this method works. Okay. There's no question of it does not work. What if you lose money? We already lost a lot of money. When we send our children for tuitions, that money is never coming back. Okay. And neither are the kids taking care of a 7-year-old. So we lost that money. Okay. We lost that to get a good feeling that we are good parents. Okay. And when we gave $70,000 for a master's degree, God knows what that master's degree brought us. And I'm a computer engineer myself, and we know the cost of education, and we are paying 5, 6, 7% student loan for the loans we take for universities. It's The world is crazy already, right? So according to me, that money is also lost. Okay. It's a piece of paper you get, it's some additional knowledge you get. That additional knowledge does not even guarantee you $500 extra per month on the job. It doesn't guarantee. And if you did get that, you can be kicked out because you don't know how to play politics, right? I was kicked out of my job because I couldn't deal with politics. So yeah, so it's like that. So we have already lost a lot of money. So no need to talk about what if I lose money and all this. Look, in your bank account you have $3,000. You have whatever money. Take 3,000, put it here, forget about it. Just think you went for expensive vacation. End of story. When you go for a vacation, you spend 3, 4, 5,000. You do not expect this money to come back, and you're fine with it. You're super happy, right? So why aren't you super happy by putting this 4, 5,000 into trading? And even if you lose the entire amount, so what's the big deal? You went for a vacation, end of story, right? You are learning a skill that is going to provide you a substantial income for the entire life. You'll not be dependent on your job alone. It will help you. So in that sense, and I'll tell you one thing. Every parent needs to learn this. According to me, every freaking parent needs to learn. Why? Because if you do not learn and you do not know how to do this, who will teach your kids? There is no tuition classes for this. It's really the parents who have to bring it to the next generation and explain them. So this is why I think that all parents should learn this. All right, moving on. Am I available for questions after the course? Yes, you will email me the questions. I will usually send you a video, a short video, and I am preparing videos for FAQ, right? Every time people ask me a question, I create a video to answer that. So you will have access to these videos later, and yes, I'll be available. What do I think about risk in investments is exactly what I explained to you just now, that there's risk in everything, including driving a car, including going for a master's degree, expecting to get a job, everything. Okay. So the risk is actually covered. As long as we are alive and as long as we are kicking hard, the risk is covered. There's no risk when you are standing up for yourself. There's no risk. The risk, you don't care. You will make it happen. That's the statement. If you are not going to make it happen, then anyway, nobody is going to make it happen for you. All right. So there we have the common questions. And now we go to the very interesting section of the millionaire roadmap. And This is the roadmap I made for myself to understand how will I make $1 million, okay, and how can any common man make $1 million. So let me quickly share this with you. Now, here is how the thinking goes. Just bear with me. What if you could double your money every year, right? Let's see what happens. We just started $1,000. You double it in 1 year, you get 2,000. Next year, you get 4,000. Third year, you get 8,000. Yeah, I know it looks ridiculous. Just hang on, yeah. Fifth year, 32,000. Sixth year, 64,000. Eighth year, you are at $250,000. Ninth year, $500,000. 10th year, $1 million. Now, guys, you may think this is ridiculous, but in the first place, I want to ask you, have you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought about if you can really double your money every year? We're talking about every year, yeah, not every month, not every day, not every week, every year. If you put $5,000 and you can double this in 1 year, then this plan works and you really have $1 million at the end of 10th year. Okay, that's definite. That's simple mathematics. And I will show you in my account now when we deep dive, and you will see, right, how this plan is at work. Yeah, it's my crazy, unrealistic plan as it looks, right? Let's make it real. Let me show you how it's realistic, right? Yeah, this is the common reaction I get, right? So people tell me, are you insane, right? So how do you double your money every year? And look, I'll give you the answer, okay? No more guessing. How do we double our money every year is we make 10% per trade, okay? And now you get why I'm talking about 10% every time. 10 trades a year, money double, okay? If you say, what if my 3 or 4 trades go wrong? Just do 15 trades. End of story. This is the formula to double money every year or faster, okay? For me, it's not even taking 1 year to double. And you will see that very soon, right? So, do you love this concept? Now that somebody put it on table for you, right? I really urge you to go and share this concept with many people, right? Because many people even fail to think this far. They haven't even thought that this kind of thing is possible. We are just stuck in our brains to say how will it work, right? This is one thing I learned after spending all the money with Robert Kiyosaki, right? You just shut up your brain and start saying, okay, it's possible, let me see how. Because I was like everybody else and I used to judge things to say, this is not possible, how come, and what are you talking, right? And that shift in thinking, I think, is where it allowed me to write a crazy plan and then to figure out how I'll get it done. Okay, let's move on. So I'm definitely loving it, and you will love it too, right? Yeah, that's the reaction. And we are in election mood these days, is why I liked it. I chose this. Yeah. So I'll show you how to do this now. Okay, let's see. Let me show you how we can get 10 to 15% per trade in my real account. Okay, and at the same time, let's take a good look at my account. Let's go in. Yeah, you'll see the other things that I'm doing also. Interested? Let's dive in. Hello folks, welcome in. I wanted to just show you the 10%, 20% returns that I am talking about. I wanted to show you in an actual trade how it is 20%. So if you see here, I am picking up this company BNTX, which is BioNTech, okay? And if you have never heard of this, I think you should if you're interested in stock market because we make money many times on news, okay, and news is big. Look here. So Pfizer and biotech see stock hope soar, as they say. Yesterday, these companies announced. Pfizer announced that they have a COVID vaccine which is working 90% of the times, and that's very positive, and that caused the entire market to go up yesterday. And Pfizer is not doing this alone, so they are using a technology from BioNTech, this company, the firm, in the vaccine. So BioNTech also will go up, all right, because if Pfizer gets sales, then both companies earn. So we go back to the chart of this company, right? Mantic is the chart. And you see what happened yesterday, right? It sold from $90 to $105, okay, which is great. So what do we do then? What do I do then? I do a option play for December options, and let me show you how the percentage works out. So you can see my screen now, and I would like to sell this put, $75 put, right? So, in short, when you sell a put, you say that if the price drops to 75, I'm willing to buy it. Okay. Considering this news and where the prices are going, it's very hard for price to fall at 75. Why do I say that? The last time it fell at 77. So when now it is at 105, I find it quite hard that in the next 1 month price will actually fall down below 77, which was the last resistance or support for the price. Okay, so I want to sell a put which is $75, and if I sell this put here, you will see that usually I'll take this kind of trade. Now for this kind of trade, I will need $4,000 of capital, which is 4,163 dollars of capital. 10% of that is 416, and my max profit will be 850. So do you see this is 20%, right? This is what I mean by you can get 20%. However, for this particular case, what I will do usually is because this is 18th December put that I'm selling, which is still about 1 month far. Once I get half of this, half of 850, which is about 420, 430, I'll close the trade. Okay, so then that'll be 10%. Okay, so my investment is still 4,000, but once I get 10%, I'll close it. So if you wait for the entire month, and you're right on this trade, you get a full 20%. If you are not so right, or you're right, but within 10 days, you get 10%, I would rather close and run. Okay, that's what I would rather do. So you see, this is what it is. And let me show you one more trade here on this same company, where now I'll not take the December, but I'll take the November trade. So in 11 days. So this put will expire in 11 days. If you do not know selling puts, etc., you may not understand what I'm doing, but you will definitely understand the 10%, 20% return that I'm talking about from the figures. That's the purpose of this video. I want to show you the figures for you to see that, right? So you see $900 of profit at $4,000 of investment. So $4,100 is my investment for this trade. That's the amount of money I need to put on the table to get into this trade. And the profit I'll get is $900, which is again 20%. Okay. And I showed you that now this is going to expire in 11 days. Okay. Because this is, you can see it's 20th November trade, and today is 11th of November already. So this will actually expire in, let me see. Yeah, 11 days. Okay. Now, of course, 90 is closer, right? If I take the same 75 that I took for December, I'll get less money. You can see I'll get less money. I'll get $250 for the same 4,700, right? Which is barely 5%. And hence I will not take 75 if I go for November, because November is closer and it's just 10-11 days. And the next 10-11 days, the price of this will likely stay where it is, which is 105-ish, or drop a little, about $100, right? It won't go below 100. It will stay at about $100 for the next 10 days is what I assume. All right. And then you can see this is how the percentages work, right? So the strike price I choose, so this thing is called the strike price. The strike price I choose definitely defines the percentage return that I get. All right, and like you see, a better strike price will give me a better percentage return. Okay, so at about 85, I get 550. I usually want 10% at least. At least, okay, below 10%, I'm not happy to take the trade. It doesn't match my trading profile. So $4,000, 900, this looks good to me. Okay, why? Because the max is 20%. The moment I get 10 to 12%, right, I can close the trade and run. All right, so this is one company, and let me show you another company with the same stats. Okay, the other company I would like to show you is Cloudflare, which is the symbol is net, and this works on many companies. Okay, I'm just picking up some that are giving a good trade today, but that doesn't mean that this does not work on Apple or Facebook or a lot of other companies. As long as there's a lot of trading on these companies, some days some companies give a better return than others. So as stock traders, we pick those, right? That's our everyday job. That's what we do for the first half an hour, to sniff through and see which is giving a good return. So some people even do it half an hour, 1 hour before the trading floor opens. So let's look at this. And this is just 4 days to expiry. That means in 4 days, this trade will expire and you'll receive the full money. And I want to show you how good this can be. The stock is currently at about 64.5, okay, and I will sell this $61. I will sell this $61, and $61 I will choose this as $61 spread. $20 is what I'll get for this trade, and for 10 contracts then I get $200. So you see, in 4 days, what I'm saying is, if the stock does not fall to $61, I keep this 200. My total investment is only $800. So with the $800 investment, my profit is $200. Waiting time 4 days. So I just need to be correct for 4 days that the price should not fall to $61, and then I keep 200, and that is a 25% return. 25%, okay, in 4 days. So do you see how this thing works, right? It's amazing, guys. It's really amazing. And that also means that at 25% return in the next 2 days, if the stock starts falling, from 64, 65 to 62, let's say, I can actually close the trade and run away, right? And I'll still bank some profit, because I do not want to wait for it to come to 61 and $60 and $59 and then I lose money, right? So because there are only 4 days left, deterioration will be fast, as I explained, and then this money will evaporate soon and come into our pocket, the trader's pocket. So even if I receive $100 in 2 days, right, I can close the trade. So what did it cost me, right? I still got 12.5% return on the money, and that's fabulous, right? And the total amount I need to bet is just $800. So it's basically a small amount bet, a quick profit, and run. And if you see every day, that the price is going up for this company, which it is right now, okay, which yesterday everything floated up. So if you look at the price for this, let me just quickly show you. Right, the price right now is in an upward trend. You can see it's an upward trend right now in November, right? Boom, it went up. So this was averaging at $55 for a long time, and I was trading it, so I know. And then now suddenly it has gone to 65, and I expect that next couple of days it will still go up. All right, so do you see, you get 25%. So that's what I meant by we can get 10% very easily. That's average. And sometimes a good trade like this, you can even get 20%, right? This is even 25%. If we are right on the trade, in 4 days, we get 25% on the money. That's fat. All right, so let's get back to what we were discussing. Hi, welcome. So we are in my account now, and this is what I wanted to show you. So you see, I have selected here from 1st January 2020 to 30th September 2020, right? So that's my entire year. And you will see that this shows profit and loss for the entire year. All right, profit and loss Y2D, which means year to date. All right, and then what I'm interested to show you here is this Netflix. I sold options on Netflix, and then in 1 year, uh, these have been my results. All right, so you can see these are very impressive. And the other company that I have actually sold options on is Nvidia, like I shared with you. So this is Nvidia. All right, $8,000. So for Netflix, all 17,000 have not come from selling options. I have also done some other trades. About 12,000 plus are from selling options, and on Nvidia, about 5,000 plus is from selling options. All right, so that is still very impressive. And I just did that on these two companies for this year. All right, and then you can see that I'm doing other strategies like covered calls, buying calls, buying puts, and that is also generating a decent amount of profit. You see, like this is on Apple, this is on Adobe, Amazon is about 3005. All right, and you can see that on FedEx, I actually forgot to put a stop loss and I didn't log in for a day. And this is what happened, right? So that's quite bad actually. But in trading, we do win and we do lose. It's all part of the game. Yeah, and then I have Microsoft, which was quite good for me this year. I made some decent money on Microsoft because if you go and look at the charts, I traded for 5 months this year because due to COVID, I was in a lockdown and I did not trade for 5 months. So I traded in January, some of Feb, and then Feb to June I couldn't trade. Then end of June I started again. So that is what I did. And then if you go and check the charts for Microsoft, you will see that the stock actually fell a couple of times, 3 to 4 times, quite badly, and I took advantage of that. All right. So this is where I wanted to show you how good it can be. All right. You can see for Netflix, right? It has actually been very good. Sorry about that. Yeah, for Netflix, right? So it has been very good. 17,000 is or 20 to 23,000 is whole year's pay for some people on a low pay scale. So this becomes a very good source of a second income. All right. So you saw my account now, and you got an idea of how far this can go. And I had actually started at that means when I started this year, I actually withdrew the funds and I kept about 13 or 14,000 in my account. So that's where I started. So I started with 13 and $14,000, and then in the 5 months I grew all of this, right? Selling options, right? So this is directly from my account, and you can see my name is here. All right, so that's my name here. That's my name here. All right, so this is directly from my account. And before we end, I just wanted to share this with you to get you a bit excited because later I'm showing you my millionaire roadmap, which I wish you also adopt for yourself. But you see that in 1 year, in about 5 months, I have done about 565 trades. 565 trades. In That's a lot, okay? Because I'm a day trader. So what do you call this? 565 trades over 5 months is averaging about 100 plus trades a month, right? So that's how many trades you can do. And later in the millionaire roadmap, you will see why I am talking about the number of trades. Okay, so let's continue then. Okay, guys, welcome back. How was it? The deep dive in my account. Thrilled? Usually I get these reactions after people see my account, right? Yeah, they are like, holy shit, what is this guy doing? Okay, what is this guy doing? Or I get these kind of reactions. So back to election mode, yeah. Or I also get these reactions. Yeah. So a lot of people tell me I want to learn this, and this is exactly what I wish to do also, right? So I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay. Let's move on. So question here is, if it's free to start, will you even put up your time and look at learning this? These are your next steps. I have a course on, because look what I just showed you, and in my previous in this video, I am doing some advanced strategies, but you need to know the basics first. So what I did, I create a little series of options course which teaches you all the basics, and then I give this away for free. And the reason is, when I give this away for free, people can go through this course, they can understand options basics, and they come to a certain level where they are ready to learn from me first, right? They are not at the ground floor, okay? They are already ready. Secondly, it's a huge win-win, because these people have seen my teaching methodology. They have seen how I teach, what I share. Do they understand me? Do they understand my language? Okay, so they have experienced me, and that's great, right? And what happens with that is that it's a win-win. When they come in the course, right, neither are they struggling nor am I, right? We are familiar with each other. So you can go and book your schedules to learn the free course, and all I need is your name and email, and that's about it. And I'm not going to spam you with emails and stuff, so don't worry about that. I am not interested, I don't have time. If you, I'm not an affiliate marketer to send you 100 affiliate things, right? If you like my teaching methodology, then you can choose to learn the selling options for generating weekly income with me, right? So that's the main course. You can choose to learn that if you understand my way of thinking, teaching. And that's the URL that you go to book your seat. That means you will just put your email ID. I will send you the invite to the webinar where you will learn the basics of options, and after that I will send you details on how can you join to learn selling options for weekly income. Okay, and all other necessary details. Now, what is the big difference, right? There are so many courses out there. Why should you join a course with somebody like me whom you don't even know and stuff? You don't even know other guys, so that's a common thing. But let me share with you. This is a very special course, because the focus here is on just one thing: generate income every week. Now, when I keep saying weekly income, I think I said this before, but every 2 months there is 1 week where we don't trade, because there is no good trade. We're getting 3-4% on a trade. We have to take more risk on the trade, so we don't trade, right? So not really every week we generate income, but out of 8 weeks, 6 weeks for sure, right? 7 weeks is quite normal. All 8 weeks, that's not normal. 1 week, from my experience, what I've seen, right? 1 week is so bad that, for example, yesterday, right? Yesterday, I did not take a single trade because there's nothing good. Okay, and the direction of the stocks is not clear, and the market is not clear, and stuff like this. So we are not here to throw your money in dustbin, right? Take unnecessary risk. So that clarifies it. And the focus here is, we don't want to do 200 trades. 1 or 2 trades per week, we generate weekly income. Okay. Usually on the same company, so we do not need to hunt for new companies. It's a straightforward, no little approach, as opposed to everybody else's approach, like I shared with you, know all, right? So it's too much information. This here, I will share with you the absolute minimum you need to know to get earning from the markets. Okay, so that's the speciality of this course. And the goal is very clear: earn a small amount of money from markets every week with this one single strategy. Don't do anything else. Okay, so that's the difference between this course and every other course. And then even if you are taking up my e-course, then not not choosing to learn with me one to one live, but taking the e-course, even then, once a month, twice a month, I keep sessions on Sundays where I answer questions, right? So I'm an individual trying to share my knowledge with other individuals. I'm not looking at making $1 million selling courses and doing that kind of commercial enterprise. Okay, so you got my goal very clear, and you got the course goal very clear. It will teach you one single strategy for you to start earning money from the markets. Okay. Now, before you start trading, you will need the following. You need to open an account with Thinkorswim, and or any platform of your preference. You can sell options on most of them. Fund your account with some money. After learning, start paper trading for a while before you do actual trades. Paper trading or virtual trading is where you don't use your real money and you still trade. All right. You can start with as little as $1,000, but starting with 3 to 5,000 will be good. It will make life easier, right? And give you a decent income of a couple of $100 per week. You do not want $70, $80 in a week. That's like, it doesn't make difference. Okay, sure, it's good, but doesn't make difference to your life. If you earn $500 a week, $2,000 a month, that really makes a difference to your life, right? Okay, about me, very simple. I'm a hardcore IT guy. That's where I come from. I'm a computer engineer. I worked for about 17 years in the corporate, and then I left that and I started teaching IT. And then I got very interested in investments. I have been doing trading, stock market trading since 2000, the year 2000. So it's been about 20 years now. That's a lot. However, first 12 years, I lost a ton of money, a lot. Okay, I even joined courses and stuff, but yeah. So then I found out the secrets in different courses that I joined on my own, joined the pieces, and then finally came up with things that I feel are good and I can teach people. All right, and I live in Singapore, and now I do property investment and stock market investment, and I help people do property investment and stock market investment, and that's what I do. All right, so I basically coach people and also work with them. Okay, that's about me. Next, so here is how you can now choose to learn with me. Sorry, let me. Hi. So we come to the most important part of this seminar for you to understand, for you to start from zero as a beginner to come to a level where you can sell options like I do and generate a weekly income. What do you need? Okay, what are the knowledge areas that you need? So basically, the course I conduct, right, is a bundle course, right, which covers many knowledge areas. So even if you buy the e-course, you get a few courses together and you have to go through them in that sequence and then you complete it, right? So your first course is the course to learn option basics. Then you learn the charting platform trading view and to see how to do charts, how to look at charts and stuff. Then you also learn technical indicators, a course on that. You learn how to use the Thinkorswim platform. So each of this, I will give you a video course, then a course to learn how to trade option vertical spreads, because these are what we use for most of our trades. And then finally is the main course, which is how to sell options for weekly income. So you see that the 1 to 5, are actually a prerequisite for course 6, right? If you are an absolute beginner and you don't know anything, and you have not never traded options, then you just go through all of them before you even start course 6. Okay. And then if you are somebody who's experienced, you have done options in US or other markets, then you can directly start at 5. Okay, course 5, you can learn vertical spreads, because the method of doing vertical spreads, how we choose the strike prices, those are important things that are covered there. And then you can go to course 6 directly, and then you are ready, okay, to start trading the markets. So of course, how you get this now, right? If you choose to learn with me, these are the two methods you can learn with me. One method is live Zoom sessions. So I give you the first 5 courses on video, which you go through, and then I do a 2 full days session with you, which is over Zoom. All right, so that's like a classroom more or less. And I can we have weekday batches and weekend batches both. Once you learn that, once you go through everything, you have another 2 sessions for Q&A separately after the course, which whenever you feel that you are stuck, you have a doubt, you can shoot me an email. And if you think it's urgent, you want to know it quickly and all, you just book an appointment with me. And I do alternate Sundays, I do a session for answering question and answers. So you participate there and then you can ask questions, right? Now, when I'm saying 2 sessions, you can also come on the third, fourth, fifth session, right? On the Sunday, whenever it is, if you have questions and stuff. So I'm not stopping you from there. But these 2 sessions are the most important ones. One session is for me to run through with you more or less one on one to understand, have you understood everything? What is your confidence level? Do you think you can do it? And then you do the trades in virtual trading, and then we work on the results together. So you see that, yeah, you're getting the same results. So that proves to us that you understood, right? And then for the next 3 months, you can be connected with me on email and shoot questions, like I said. However, the idea here is I do not want you to be dependent on me. I want you to be independent and you should be able to do it. Hence, you wouldn't even need me after 3 months. But then, like I said, if you do need, or you still have some question, you hop on to the Sunday sessions and ask me. The second method is e-course, where you learn everything through videos, and then you still get the 2 post-course Q&A sessions, and the rest remains the same, right? So the e-course is for people who really cannot make it my time zone because I'm in Singapore, or they do not have a budget to sit with me face to face and have a live session. So it's cheaper. All right. So these are the pricings. The e-course is just 599 actually. And since I just launched this thing, I have come up with this introductory offer of 399, and that is very, very cheap. That is the cheapest I would say that I have found. I have not even seen anybody offering at this kind of price. And the beautiful thing here is that we are just focusing for you to learn this one strategy for you to generate income from the markets every week by selling options. That's about it, right? So it's very targeted, very focused. I will not be dumping all the knowledge on your head. I will just be dumping enough for you to know how to run this thing. Okay. Now, of course, the 2 full days is the best. Uh, there's a typo here, right? It says 3 full days. So, basically, 2 full days is Zoom meetings, and more than one day is counted for you to go through the videos. And then this is actually 1288, which also I'm giving at a huge discount of 888, which is again quite cheap for the content offered. Now, the first course, which is basics of options, will be given to you free. So, at the end of this presentation, I'll give you a link. You can book your seat, and I'll send you the details, and you can take that course, right? So, you can get started there. And that is how you understand my teaching style. Do you understand me? Do you like the way the methodology of the course is conducted, the flow? And then from there you are ready, to hop on to this. So this tells you how you can join me if you decide to, for learning this. And if you don't decide to, then it's I mean, you need to take time, etc. It's still all right. Go through my basics options course, etc. And I can also send you certain other resources that you can will be useful for you. All right, then once you're ready, you just come on. The idea here is that you certainly need certain amount of capital. For example, if you do not even have 5 to 800 US dollars to put into your account, then even if you learn, right, you can't use it unless you have a mountain of patience like I have. I did paper trading for 7 months plus, and the paper trading or virtual trading is very boring because there's no real money involved, and you really need a lot of patience to sit with it, but and the interest to master this, right? So in that sense, yes, you can join in, you can learn, but otherwise, preferably, the idea here is we want you to get started earning from the markets quickly. That's the idea. All right, so that explains it. Just a second. So how do I make it risk free for you? I do not offer any refund for course fee, but I have a method for you to get your course fee back. And the reason for that is this: I want you to be part of the game. I do not want you to take your money, go back and forget about stock market. There is just way too much money in stock market. Way too much money. Okay, even if you just do simple stocks, right, there is way too much money. Let me just see if I can show you this. Look at this. Look at this. Look, this guy was $55. Okay, the last I was trading it. That's 3rd November. Can you see the date? It's 3rd November, right? And then he shot up to $70, and this happened in 5 days. So in 10 days, this guy went from 55 to 70. That's $15. If you own 1,000 shares of this company, you get $15,000 in 10 days. This is how crazy this stock market is, right? And there are too many companies where you could have made a lot of money, and I could have also made a lot more than I have made. All right, look at this. Just March this year, 142, and now is a 274, right? Double. And there are many such companies, right? I can show you one on one, right? There are many companies. So the idea is, right, I do not want you to get out of the stock market. I want you to be part of this game involved. Uh, is why I do not believe in somebody comes in, he pays some money, you refund him, he goes out, and that's the end of it. So this is how we do it, right? The basic option course is free, so you see my teaching methodology, you experience me before you put any money, right? So I think that's very fair already. Then after you join and complete this course, selling options for weekly income, if for whatever reason you feel unsure, here is what we do. I'll give you a couple of trades. Actually, 2 trades are enough. On Thursday or Friday, on a Friday usually, for you to put in your real account, and you should earn more than enough to cover your course fees. All right, so that's I don't like to give trades because that again makes you dependent. I believe that people should be independent, right? But that's the max that I can help you with. All right. Okay, why should you give it a try? Because the stock market scare a lot of people. I bet it scares a lot of people. It did scare me a lot too. All right. But like I said, this gives you the highest income per hour in the world. And you saw my account also. All you have to do is ask yourself this: are you ready for this? Okay, so this is the only question that you need to answer. If you feel you're ready for this, uh, everything is good. Okay, everything is good. Okay, so time to take action and go to the link, put in your name and email. I will then send you details to the free option course. Go through the course, ask me if you need to anything, and then from there, if you wish, you can join the selling options, and I welcome you in. Okay, I thank you very much to listen to me for so long, and the video was long. I hope you understood the entire game, and I wish you good luck. Hey, so we are at the end of it, and I thank you very much for going through the entire journey with me. It was a long video, and I'm very sure you're very clear now about the profits options, selling options can generate. So I wish you good luck and kick yourself, guys, to learn how to sell options for life and have a second income. Good luck.